and a 2. Streaming from the beautiful Pacific Northwest and the mighty West Coast, we greet you all a good morning, good evening, whenever your timeline may fall. Time-appropriate greetings, indeed to one and all. This is The Launch. My name is Chris.
And I'm Angela.
Hello, Angers. We have quite the show today. Big show, lots of things, lots of chicken shenanigans to get into and all of that. So let's start with a few things everybody should know. You can give us a call, 774-462-5667. That is 774-462-5667. Give us a ring. We'll play your voicemail. The podcast is live on Tuesdays, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. UTC at jblive.tv or jblive.fm, or Podcasting 2.0 app of your choice that supports live streams. Of course, you can find everything we talk about and our back catalog over at weeklylaunch.rocks. The show comes out for download on Wednesday mornings, and it comes out for our members on Tuesday afternoon, right after the show, hot and fresh. And there's a bootleg version for our members as well. And of course, our links to our chat room, more, all of it on our website, weeklylaunch.rocks. Already told you that. You should probably know that. It's an HTML site with links, and it's very handy. It's good, Andrew. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good to know about. So this week, you brought up a topic that all of us have to deal with.
Yes.
And I went back and I looked at some of my favorite commercials on this topic from the 80s. Check this one out.
I can't even imagine.
You're gonna love it. This is a commercial that only would air in the 80s.
There's a remarkable achievement for getting out many tough stains from your laundry, even set in blood. In a word, protein. Protein. It's the plus that makes Aeroplus so effective on stains, because many stains, like blood, spaghetti sauce, and mustard, are made of protein. And protein gets out protein. Gets out protein. Gets out protein.
Oh my gosh.
Just pre-treat stains and add a quarter cup for the load. Nothing gets out every stain, but Aeroplus gets out some of the toughest with the surprising cleaning power of protein.
Oh, goodness.
Don't you want some protein in your cleaning stuff?
Okay. Well, so it wasn't about getting stains out.
No, I know. I just had to play that. It's so good.
Yeah. No, it was laundry habits, right? And hacks. Because I think I could use some some ideas.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, I think a lot of people don't realize that the cap that comes with your laundry soap is not supposed to be filled to the brim.
Right? Maybe back in the day, was it?
Laundry soap. So they make the cap really big, but there's a small line on it, and you're not supposed to use, the full cap. The other thing is that commercial showed pouring the laundry soap on top of.
Yeah.
No, you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
For the ones that don't have a dedicated reservoir, you are supposed to put it in the bottom of the washer. Now, I found out when I was 15 and went to my first party what pouring laundry soap directly on your clothes does. In black light, you can see just a bunch of stains all over your jeans because it dries on there to some degree until it gets wet. And anyway, but all right, so here's what's happening. I have the second deck being built, and pretty soon the window is going to be a door, and I can no longer have my Chase Lounge in front of that window.
Okay.
That's where I keep my laundry.
Right. Right.
I have a dresser. I have a closet. I don't have enough hangers, but I have too much clothes, and I need to go through them.
You know what you need is a chute. Right? Between the closet and the laundry room. How great would that be? You just open up the thing,
my gosh.
How cool would that be?
It literally is on the other side.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's thinking outside the box. Anyway, so yeah, I can do 3 loads of laundry in a day. Mine's usually a load and then one of the kids' loads. But I never get a chance to actually put them away. Sometimes I sit on this chair for weeks.
It's the worst.
So what I'm just wondering what everyone's hacks have been to stay ahead of this, or I don't know. I'm just not gonna. The chair won't be there anymore, so I don't know what I'm gonna do
Yeah, and you can't buy a robot yet, unfortunately. This will be why people buy robots, is laundry and dishes. So what we do, because we don't have laundry in Lady Jupes, is on usually Saturday or sometimes Thursday, depending on Hadia's schedule, we'll do like 3 industrial laundry machines worth of laundry at once. And then I just know when she comes back, we're just going to put it away because there's nowhere else to put it. But so we just like put it all in this like one moment of time, and it's just this big blast of laundry.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, like if Dylan forgets clothes and you have to do a second run, which of course that happens and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But laundry and like where to put it, there's like not a built-in spot in the RV for laundry. Like most homes don't. When I was a kid and I was looking at places with my parents, I remember before they bought the house that became the Dome House, many houses had laundry chutes.
Yeah.
It was a normal thing.
Yeah.
My uncle's house had laundry chutes. Like, I just don't.
Right. Well, and then the house that I live in, the laundry is on the 2nd floor, which is not normal.
That's nice, though.
It might have had a laundry chute if they had put it on the 1st floor.
So what is a good laundry hack to just get a handle of it? You need a system, a laundry system.
I do separate towels. Towels get washed separately from all the clothes.
Okay.
But, yeah.
All right, well, let us know. How are you managing? Do you have a system? Do you do it once a week? Do you do it every day? A little bit at a time? What's your method and what's your system for managing something that we all have to deal with? Honestly, if I was rich, like really rich, like Gates rich, I'd probably just have a staff and they'd probably do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's probably, it's just if you get so rich, you just outsource all that stuff because it costs you money in a way. But for us poors, you got to do it yourself. So, boost in and let us know how you're solving that. We'd like that. Now, I have an update for you, Andrews. It has been just a bit over a month. Well, it was actually.
Has that?
It's been longer than that.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, because it was before Linux Fest.
It'll be 2 months next week.
Oh, my goodness. So it's time for a chicken up and update. Yeah, I put it in here. It was March 27th. We got the chickens, and they were just teensy tiny little fuzzballs. Teeny tiny little tiny fuzzballs. So we thought, well, this isn't going to be too hard. We got some big crates. We got one big crate. And we put them in there, and they all fit in there just fine. And then one of them started to seem a little sick, and another one started to seem a little sick. So we got another crate. And we sequestered them. And then the ones that were left in the other crate started needing more room, so we bought another crate and stacked them. We cut the bottom off one and stacked it, so it was like double tall, and then we put some perches in there so they could stack themselves vertically.
Yep.
As it just kept going. Yeah, basically. And the thing is we had to take out our dinette to do this in our RV. So we had no dinner table, no place to like set stuff down when you come in through the door. This is during like projects around Linux Fest where we had the guys all here, we're all running around like crazy. Kids and their friends over. Hadia had family visit. Like, it has been nuts. And we ended up switching bedding to hemp because we started with wood shavings, which is the cheap stuff that everybody starts with. But it's so dusty. And then they start kicking it up.
Yeah.
And it just, these plumes of wood dust would come out and make this fine wood dust on top of everything. And like
the chickens are smoking.
Yeah, like every day I'd be going around like dusting my screens and so we switched to the hemp stuff and that helped. But it was getting
Is it hemp what is the
flakes
material?
kind of. It's like flaky, like wood flakes, but just made of hemp. And it also absorbs better and all that. Better for the respiratory system too.
What? Just kidding.
Moistures, I suppose. The last couple of weeks we started taking them out more and more during the day and then bringing them in at night after like it started getting a little cold out. And that worked pretty well. And so while we were every day taking them out and then bringing them back in, we had like a little mobile pen that we would keep them in. We needed to, where we'd let them run around, and we would use all that time to build this coop. And we found just spare parts from around the farm to build this coop to try to save on material. And, that was like this process that I thought would take a week, took a month. And it's like you get 80% of what you wanted to build. You don't quite get everything. You have all these ideas. But we had to build this thing really kind of secure. And we're newbies and we don't really know what we're doing. But we have a couple of packs of coyotes. I don't know how many coyotes are in those packs, but it's many. And we just had a coyote run through our area Monday, right through the area where I sometimes just let the birds just free roam. Coyote came through twice, actually. It ran through and then it did a reconnaissance pass and then it ran through again. So I don't know if they've gotten the scent of the birds or what, but my alerts are up. My cackles, they're up. I'm worried about my birds. So we were trying to build this thing really tough. Plus, we have multiple eagle families, couples that live within eye shot of these chickens. And then it's a farm, so we have rats. And we have possums. And we have owls. All those
Just a couple things.
They all eat chickens. So we wanted to build a coop pretty strong. And so we got the birds on March 27th. And on May 17th, this last weekend, we finally became empty nesters. Our big birds that were no longer tiny little fuzzballs, but big teenage birds, they finally moved out because the coop was finished. And I like it. All right. Well, it's, what is it, May 16th of the year 26 in the year of our chickens. And the coop is officially done tonight. And it's mostly budget adjacent, not totally budget friendly, but it was built with stuff we had around the farm. So that saved. We have metal paneling about halfway up and then a netting that was actually used for like the sides of hills to hold rocks and whatnot.
It's GeoGrid.
Yeah. We have a little split Dutch style door in the front.
Oh, you did get the split door.
That we can come into, where we see the wife Adia's putting the final touches on the hen house. What you got there?
This is the auto door. So it'll sit right here.
Right on the hen house, and then it auto opens.
It auto
Hence auto door.
Closes certain times a day. So it should make our life a lot easier.
And it connects to Home Assistant. Easier too. Yeah. And we've been putting ventilation and roosting bars and lighting and heating in there. And something else that we liked is we put these wood pellets down that are really nice. And then over here in the corner, we have a little trap door that opens and closes.
They can come visit us in the picnic area.
Yeah, and they can visit us in our picnic area where we have a picnic table and whatnot.
And that's free roaming?
Yeah, if they want. And then, eventually they learn to go back home when it starts to get cold. So they go back on their own. So that is, I guess, the basic. Am I missing anything?
I mean,
it's really nice in here.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Look at the cool door, the way that we...
The hen house is like a repurposed shipping crate, a wood shipping crate. The roof is this
plastic corrugated
plastic stuff. So the roof is transparent.
That's nice.
And they're also partially under a barn roof.
I bet that's loud.
So they have good coverage. So it's actually quite nice in here when it's windy and rainy. We got to test that recently.
I'm just gonna hang out in here.
I know. We should put chairs in here.
Well, I think I just did.
And we're going to get covered in poop.
Oh, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hook up there. So whenever I'm not using it, I just fold it up and hang it.
That's a great idea.
Nice.
Yeah.
He thought about this.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to put some more stuff in there. We got to get it ready. But it's usable.
Jump on me down here, which is what I want.
So where are they right now
It turned
in this
out
video?
They are in like the temporary pen that
We've got power nearby, so we can run in for the heat and the lighting and the cameras, which are going to be PoE. But there you have it. So tonight will be their first night in the coop. It's been about a month, longer than I wanted, but it's done.
Very cool.
You know, it was so, I don't know, like sad in a way.
Yeah.
Because they lined up in the spot that they started learning to line up in when it was time to bring them inside.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it started getting dark out, they just all got in their spot like, okay, come get us. And they don't run anymore.
Yeah.
They just sit there and they wait for us. And they're like, no, you're not coming inside tonight. You got to go in here.
Yeah. I was asking the girls about if they feel like pets, you know? I don't know anything about chickens.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, yeah. And I'm like, but do they like return the love? You know, like the way cats and dogs are. I mean, cats are a little finicky about it, but like, and they said, yeah.
Yeah, some of them are really snuggly.
Bella really misses Susan.
Yeah, Susan is so funny. She is a big snuggler. Susan is a type of chicken that is known to be pretty snuggly, but I'll show you this picture here. That's Susan there's laying like a rubber duck on.
Oh my gosh, that's cute.
Yeah, she's just
flat.
Like flat like a rubber duck on your lap. She loves it. She just gets in and snuggles in and gets warm. So some of them are really snuggly. Susan and Mel, I'll talk more about them because they're so cute. But I got to first tell you about the tech. You know me. I got to tell you a little bit, and I'm going to go into more detail in Linux Unplugged, but I have automated lighting and heating in this hen house. I put a WLED strip along with a diffuser. It's inside a diffuser bar, so it's not super bright. And the light slowly turns on about 10 minutes before their door opens. And then over the next few hours, it kind of ramps up to a 30% brightness. And then as the sun begins to set in the evening, it starts to ramp down. And then when their door closes, it turns off about 15 minutes after that. Cameras, temperature sensor, motion sensor, ammonia sensor, they're all going in over the next few days. There's a lot to cover in Linux Unplugged for that.
What's the ammonia sensor for?
The poop.
Well, so like you just need to replace the ground stuff?
Yeah, you got to keep an eye. Well, so ventilation is a huge thing, and I don't think we have enough ventilation yet.
See.
So we're going to kind of monitor the ammonia levels and get to the right ventilation level.
Is there a good ammonia level?
Yeah, it's like less than 22 parts per million or something. It's not.
Are you going to have like a chart reference somewhere?
Yeah, I'll have it all in Home Assistant charted, so we can see if it's getting unhealthy. So we're looking forward to it because it's a nice geek project, right? Like, I still want to add a couple of windows to the henhouse too. And the genius thing that I've seen people do is they get like household windows, but they install them in the reverse.
Oh.
So the opening and closing latching is done on the outside, so you don't have to go into the poop.
Of course.
Right? So I think I want to do that a little bit. That sounds really good. So I was a little sad that they didn't get to spend the night inside, but I was also really excited to see how they did the next day. So like proud parents, because the door opens up at 6:30 a.m., Hadia and I were out there at 6:30 a.m. waiting for the door to open to see how they did.
Ladies?
Birdies?
Good morning. Who's the first out?
I wonder if the sound is going to...
I think, any birdies in there?
Good morning.
Oh.
They slowly came out after a little bit, but I thought it was a good sign that they didn't come rushing out, that they weren't like freaking out about how horrible it was, and they just eventually came out after we bribed them with a little bit of food.
And a big hug. Good morning.
Now the two left in there, the two that stay in there, of course, are Mel and Susan. Mel and Susan, so we separated these two birds because they were sick initially. And then as the birds grew, they stayed separated just for space reasons. And they would only get to play with the other birds during the day when they were out and about. But then when it was bedtime, they would get separated and go back together. And so as a result, these two birds are the biggest besties. They do everything together. I mean, they will go off on their own independently, but they don't like do much. But when they're together, they get into trouble. They explore stuff. They find the food. They'll go into a dark territory that's scary. When they're separate, they're both very, very timid. But together, very, very brave. And I just thought, how cute is it? And it's great that the other birds didn't reject them. We just accidentally created these besties.
Right.
And when they get separated after a while, they go looking for each other. They're a real team. They're so good together. I decided I'd hire them. In fact, I have hired them. Mel and Sue will now be the legal representation for the show to go after Brent after his egregious lawsuit. Mel and Sue, birds of law. They do practice bird law, and I think that's all that is needed for here. Now, of course, they don't accept traditional payments. They're birds. The silly guys, don't be ridiculous. But you can pay us, and then we will buy their feed. So we have created a Birds of Law limited edition swag. It's available on the Jupiter Garage. I'll put a link in the show notes if you would like to get a Mel and Sue Birds of Law t-shirt. This is a real thing. It is available for a limited time. I think it's great. One of the things I'm considering doing is setting up a little camera on these birds, and then when people watch the live stream, we can have like a bird cam, see what the birds are doing, and get yourself a Birds of Law shirt. Also, I learned a little bit more, as time goes on about chickens. Because this is new to me. It's obvious in retrospect what I'm about to say is not going to surprise anybody, but I've always enjoyed smart pets. I like a good, clever dog. I don't really find dumb dogs particularly much fun. I like clever cats, parrots. They seem neat. Anything, even fish. I've had fish that are smarter than other fish.
Right.
Then I got chickens, and I realized there is no point to a smart chicken. Doesn't do you any good. It doesn't make them lay better eggs. They don't eat more bugs or whatever. They just are constantly looking at the angles, figuring out how to escape, just finding all your weaknesses and everything. They're funny, but they don't really get you anything. Like a smart chicken.
Right.
There's no point to it.
What about camaraderie, partnership?
Yeah, maybe. But then they're not as smart as a crow or anything.
Yeah.
They're not like raven smart.
Right.
They're still a chicken. So it's just, you're just the smartest dumb bird. I don't know. I thought, and so we got one of them that is classically smart and known for escaping. And I thought, how bad could it be? So we named her Sweetie, because at first I thought she was just a really affectionate bird and she wanted to keep coming out and visit me. She's so sweet. And every time she'd break out, we'd say, oh, hi, Sweetie. And she'd come over and visit. Then I realized she's just an escape artist.
Jailbreak.
And I remember when I named her, I said, her name should either be Sweetie or Trouble. And I'm not sure which one. And now I know it should be Trouble. There's no point to a smart bird. I'll tell you that. But it's been a lot of fun. And I hope like the most expensive time-wise and budget-wise part is over. And then it's just sort of, fill out their coop and kind of get all of the different sensors working. And then wait till probably about September when they start laying eggs.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
And I kind of did the math. Think right now we're around 8,000, 8,100 eggs will be when we break even.
Nice.
Yeah. So there you go.
Now's the time. It's the song of the week. Remember, you can boost the track. They sure like that.
Yeah, and we're playing a classic this week. One of the songs that brought me into the Value for Value music verse, it is Call Me Melody by Curtis Drums.
Call me when you need me. Call me when you're alone. Anytime you need me. Make you feel right at home. Call me when you need me. Call me when you're alone. Anytime you need me. Make you feel right at home. Call me in the morning, call me when I'm sleeping. Don't care if you call me when I'm dreaming. You should know you're always on my mind. Let me tell you what I'm thinking. When you pick up, you pick me up. Ay, my heart is singing every time you're ringing. Your voice so pretty, I can't hang up now. But when I go, you should know. You can call me when you need me. Call me when you're alone. Anytime you need me. Make you feel right at home. Call me when you need me. Call me when you're alone. Anytime you need me. Make you feel right at home. You're so good, you're so good for me. You're so good, you're so good for me. You're so good, you're so good for me. You're so good, you're so good for me.
Well, I'm just going to make a quick call to the launch. I haven't checked in since yesterday. 774-462-5667. That's it. All right. 774-462-5667. Call now.
We got a nice batch of voicemails because we had to cut it short last week.
Yep.
And we're going to start with Nick from Ecuador. He's got a story about a behind-the-scenes place that he's been to.
Ooh.
Morning,
Yes.
JB crew. This is Nick from Ecuador. Y'all were asking about places we've been, others probably haven't. I got a few of them actually. I have been inside the data center for a legal publishing firm, and just sort of left there for a minute. I didn't actually do anything with it, but I was just like, guys, this is not a wise idea. And it was just somebody running to go get the next person to show me around. But I've done that. I've been inside Hoover Dam, which was
Cool.
pretty nice. I got the tour through Hoover Dam, which, I mean, a bunch of people have, but I got to, we got to do a little bit extra, hey, can we go down and actually see some of the turbines spinning? And
Oh, neat.
yeah, they took us down to a catwalk. It was pretty nice.
Wow. Cool.
What else have I done? I've actually done a lot. I'm only 35, and even now I'm thinking back to it, and I'm like, I've seen a surprising amount. Oh, I've been on base a couple times at Wright Patterson, just in the more communal areas. What's it called? The exchange,
Right.
transfer between stations kind of area. It was pretty fun. I had a friend in high school who was a base commander, or his dad was. So yeah, there's been a surprising number of things where I've been behind the scenes at places. Oh, and stagehand for a couple plays. Sorry if it's a bit rambly. I basically just woke up and remembered to call you guys. So, hope you all are doing well, and greetings from Ecuador.
Calling the launch in the morning is a good morning routine.
Mhm.
It's recommended.
Yeah.
Recommended by people that pretend to be doctors. I like that. Hoover Dam I've never done, but I would like to do. I would like to see, especially to see the turbines. Joe from Pittsburgh comes in. Looks like he's been to a data center that we've probably all heard the name of.
Yes, hey, this is Joe calling in here from around Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, longtime Jupiter Party member.
Woo!
To answer the question from the other week, one of the places that I've been that public typically doesn't have access to is one time years ago, I was doing IT service and went to Iron Mountain, which is like a big secure document facility. It's just basically a hole in the side of a mountain.
Wow.
And you drive back in there. They drove us back in on golf carts.
Oh,
And you get like a half mile, maybe a mile back into the mountain. And all of a sudden there's like offices back in there and all kinds of stuff and just totally random. You actually had to get like security clearances to go into the place. But it was very cool at the time and would love to go back again if I ever had the opportunity. Love the show. Just calling in to say thanks and look forward to tuning in this week.
sounds like a scene from The Incredibles.
Yeah, it does. Right? You could totally picture that, or some spy movie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. So Pat called in from central New York, and he remembers, like Pepperidge Farms, this device that I was trying to recall the name of. I think it was in last week's episode. It was one of the early PDAs, and it ran Linux, the Sharp Zorus, I think it was.
Hello, launch crew. This is Pat over in central New York. And yes, 20 some odd years ago, we bought a Sharp Zorus.
Yes.
We bought two of them, and I still have one, and it still works, I think.
Oh.
And that was supposed to be a personal productivity tool that failed miserably. It was neat, ran Linux, I do believe.
Yep.
But it was a device that didn't quite live up to it. But that was back in the early 2000s. Probably 2004, I think. So look it up, the Sharp Zorus. Take care and have fun.
Still goes for somewhere between $300 to $400
Wow.
on eBay, depending on which one you get. And what was neat about it is, besides the fact that it ran Linux,
It is very cool looking.
it has a slide down QWERTY keyboard too.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really neat back. People were not totally sold on the touchscreens because the touchscreens sort of sucked back then. They were not nearly as good. Thank you. Appreciate that, Pat. Pat also called in about FreeBSD Desktop, and I think he feels how I feel.
Hey, Chris, Pat from CNY again. I was listening to your discussion about FreeBSD, and I absolutely agree. In fact, I think in the past when I've heard Alan on various shows, it sounds like he doesn't use FreeBSD on the desktop. He uses it on servers and uses Windows. So I don't know, but I agree with you. Linux has come so far and mainstream, and it's just easy to use. Not only as a server, but replacing Windows or Mac on the desktop, and everything just works. Why go through this masochism for what? I don't understand. But if you're in the ZFS ecosystem, enjoy that on your server, I guess. But you got that about too, so who knows? Have a great time. Bye-bye.
Right there with you, Pat. Right there with you.
Calling to narc on Alan.
Love it. Okay, so Atomic Ass called in, and I don't know if you remember the Omni that we talked about, this like theoretical hardware AI device that somebody had on their temple, and it was helping them cheat in class and stuff.
Yes.
So Atomic Ass is commenting on it, something like that.
Hey, Chris and Angela, this is the Atomic Ass again. And I was listening to Unplugged the other day, and I was hearing you talk about the Omni. And I'm reminded of the Walkman that Sony has brought into the 21st century.
Sure.
And it's just an Android tablet that shows a playing cassette on the screen when you close the cover. And I was thinking, what we really need is something like that, but that shows a micro cassette. And then when the AI responds to you, it winds itself back and plays it with cassette tape distortion. Just a thought.
Right?
And like if you want to switch to Claude, you put in one tape. You want to switch to ChatGPT, you put in a different tape. I'm here for it. Why not? I mean, people like records. All right, one more call from Atomic, and this is on the topic of heavy metal and chickens.
Oh, and one more thing. Now that you've entered Jupiter Broadcasting into the book of heavy metal, you have certain, shall we say, obligations.
Oh.
It's a good thing you're about to have a steady supply of chickens.
Throw eggs, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. I'm probably going to have too many eggs and I know what to do with. Okay, Knights is calling in. First-time launch caller, and they got to go to a very private spot on Universal Studios.
Hi, Knights here. First-time caller until the launch, but a long-time listener. I've been listening since the Linux Action Show days.
Woo!
You might not remember me. I met you at Scale last year, and it was fun meeting you and the whole crew. Shout out to PJ. That guy is awesome.
PJ!
Anyways, I wanted to call in regarding getting access to a place that most people don't get to access. I got to access to the Universal Studios backlot, and now you may think, well, everybody can ride that ride and go check it out. But we had a family friend take us on like a custom backlot tour in a golf cart, and we had got to ride around many of the places that the backlot tour ride takes you, like the Jaws set where the Jaws pops up. But he took us also into the Jaws area where there's a fishing village and you can walk around, and we were able to get out of the golf cart and kind of just explore the whole set. We also went to this giant sunken, which looked like a giant sunken parking lot, but I guess they use it for ocean scenes, and they flooded it.
Yeah.
So they flood it and then they surround it with green screens, and they put ships in this giant,
looks like ocean.
Giant
cool
parking lot thing. And we saw some of the ships that they used to film the upcoming movie, The Odyssey. One of them was broken in half. And so he said we'd recognize it if we saw the movie when it comes out. And then we got to stop at several other spots along the way as well. Like the scene where there's a scene from, I forgot the name of the movie, War of the Worlds, where there's a torn apart plane, and we were able to get out and walk around there as well. So it was really cool to be able to see that and get a custom tour. I really appreciate him doing that for us. Anyways, just wanted to call in and share that, and hopefully I'll get a call in the future. All right.
Absolutely. Please do. And thanks for a long time listening and support. Getting to walk around in that space.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
Very cool.
All right. Chris calls in. He got to get access to something that I thought only Brad Pitt in the movies got access to.
Hey guys, it's CB or CB8 here from the Matrix chat. This is about the interesting places that, I think it was interesting or weird places that we get into or we can go. So my last job, I did a lot of AI stuff. And one of the stuff that the clients that we had was casinos. And it was for monitoring the current status and outcome of table games.
Wow.
So things like blackjack, baccarat, all that. So I very frequently got to go down into the security operations center, and it was very interesting. We're talking floor-to-ceiling monitors, looking at every corner.
Oh, yeah.
Every nook and cranny inside the casino.
Oh, yeah.
Every game has multiple cameras on it.
Sure.
So don't ever think about cheating because not only will they see you, they'll see you from multiple angles.
Oh.
And yeah, it was just very interesting. Huge data centers down there, completely air-gapped. We got to set up our servers in there for the processing stuff. Yeah, that's about it. Just something interesting, something that I got to do. It was pretty neat. Anyways, take care, guys.
It reminds me of the Ocean's movies. I really
That's what I'm
enjoyed
saying.
those.
That is a cool one.
Yeah.
To see all that firsthand must have been really neat.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Magnolia Mayhem calls in and he tells us about what happens when you get wrapped up with a man who's on a mission from God.
Well, let me get this straight. You needed a permit to build a chicken coop?
You did?
That's insane.
Not me, but somebody else.
Anyway, project I've been on. So there was this guy. This is back after I quit working as a security guard. And he was like, hey, I hear you need work. Well, God has put me on a mission to build a village for all the widows in this area. So I'll pay you $15 an hour to come build houses. So I went to this guy's land and I spent a couple of months building these tiny little houses.
Uh-huh.
There was no plan. There was no blueprint.
How do you build a house with no plan?
Was just, okay, now we're going to build this. Now we're going to build that.
No.
There were a couple of completed houses and a few more that are in the process of being built. But yeah, I spent all that time on a ladder, just hammering boards together randomly. And as far as I know, there's still just a bunch of empty, half-built houses out there. I don't think the project ever did get completed, but he just
All right, I'm going to cut it there just because the connection's so
Right?
bad. But
Dang.
yeah, that's a funny story. Like, you don't know if there's any plans or anything like that where it goes. Of course, I want to know if he got paid. Let us know if he got paid, Mayhem, when you've got better signal. He was on the end of his route, I think, or just not sure.
Yeah.
But that's it. That is our voicemail bank. We are officially out of the voicemails. We're current. Is that the way to say it? We're not voicemail bankrupt. We're voicemail current.
Yep.
All right. So that means
Now we are voicemail lacking.
Yeah, that means you got to call.
Call the launch, we're standing by. 774-462-5667. That's the line. 774-462.
All right. It's 5667. It's time for the boost. We got to keep moving. We got boost to do.
Yes.
We got a big update. We got more coming. So let's get to the boost because it's a quick one this week, but we appreciates. And our baller boost this week is Adversary 17 with 73,000 sats. So, Chris, you're in a farm with a barn and a wide open area, right? So when are you going to get a ham license? That's the kind of terrain that's perfect to set up a dipole antenna. Well, maybe I'll just have to come out and make it happen. At this point, you're 2 years overdue. I've waited a whole year after I originally mentioned and still got both a technician and a general license before you guys. Anyways, as they say in ham, 73s. You're right. I blame PJ. I blame PJ. He got me distracted with the Meshtastic, then the BitChat came out, and I got a pretty active Meshtastic community in my area, and it's just kept me distracted. I like it, though. I like that there's nobody that says, I just turn on a device and I can use it. And ain't nobody can say no. Something about that I like. Tell you what. All right, our next, thank you, adversaries. Appreciate that very much. Our next and last boost for this episode comes from Wham Geek. Coming in hot, too. Hey, Chris and Angela, responding to your call out for an old Palm-like devices. I was the proud owner of the Sony Clie, I think it was pronounced, PEG UX50. And to this day, I still feel like it was the best handheld device ever. I can't remember exactly how those are pronounced, but I do remember those Sony devices being good ones. Let's see what old eBay says it goes for today. Whoa.
What is it?
This listing that just randomly popped up on eBay, $599 still.
What?
But so it's a clamshell computer, almost like a 3DS design with a full QWERTY keyboard. I never had one of these.
Cute.
But I do remember people having these. And they were so cool. Yeah, the Sony PEG UX50, if you would like to look it up at home, that is a really neat device. Thanks for sending that in. He says, it was the perfect size and features what I still consider to be the best small-scale physical keyboard. It even had a small camera that could swivel. I really wish someone would build a modern Linux device with that same clamshell wheel swivel factor. Keep up the great work with the podcast. Well, thank you very much to Wham Geek and, of course, to Adversary 17. You two are our only two boosters this week. We also had one-person stream sats, so we stacked 2,200 sats there. But thanks to adversaries and a generous boost from Wham, we stacked 83,000 sats. Right on the nose, actually. Look at that. We don't do that very often. Right there on the old nose of Rooskies. Thank you, everybody who supported the show with a boost. And, of course, we also appreciate our members at Jupiter.Party. You get the bootleg version. If you'd like to boost the show, you can do it with Fountain FM or any other Podcasting 2.0 app. They make it pretty straightforward, and it's a great way to get your message on the show and support us directly. Well, you know, we've been following this Musk versus Altman and OpenAI trial since it kicked off, and it's wrapping up this week. And I thought we'd have a different update for you today because things started kind of like maybe we were going to get a bit of a bang just yesterday as we're recording. So let's go back in time to Monday morning.
The final full day of testimony in the Elon Musk OpenAI trial is happening today. Our Kate Rooney has details in today's Tech Check. Morning again, Kate.
Hey, Kate.
Hey, Carl. Yep, the jury is going to be hearing from a couple more witnesses today from the defense team, and then closing arguments are going to kick off. It does cap off 3 weeks of Silicon Valley drama that we've heard in this Elon Musk versus OpenAI case. CEO Sam Altman did take the stand yesterday, and he had a lot to respond to after multiple witnesses testified really about his character and accused him of lying on the stand. So Altman's narrative when he took the stand centered on Elon Musk's attempts throughout the years to control OpenAI. He testified that Musk at times wanted a 90% stake in what started as a startup and a nonprofit, and merging with Tesla, according to Altman, came up multiple times. He also said that Musk thought the AI lab would fail. He put a 0% chance, I should say, of them succeeding. Musk then left the board and went off to start an AI effort within Tesla. And then according to Altman, he abandoned OpenAI. Quote, "We were left for dead," as he put it. Says the lawsuit is now a jealous attempt to, quote, "try to beat us down while he is building a competitor over at xAI," which is now a part of SpaceX.
And of course, all of this is going on while they want to IPO. The AI boom with all of the funding is happening right now. The stakes are extremely high. So it was a surprise when just a few hours after that report, we got a pretty major update.
Got some breaking news for you. Federal jury just reached a verdict in Elon Musk's lawsuit against OpenAI and its boss, Sam Altman, rejecting Musk's claim against OpenAI. CBS News senior business and tech correspondent Jolene Kent is here to break it all down. Jolene, I just was on the air this morning in San Francisco telling our viewers that they had started deliberations. This was super fast. So what does this mean for the AI and tech industry?
Well, this was a very fast decision. And what we found here is that this lawsuit has been basically tossed entirely. What we know is that the jury recommended to the judge that it was the case filed by Elon Musk in 2024 was not viable in all claims because the statute of limitations had expired. Elon Musk had filed this lawsuit against Sam Altman, Greg Brockman, and the entire OpenAI team in 2024. And according to the jury, they believe there's a 3-year statute of limitations. And they believe that Elon Musk knew about these complaints prior to 2024 minus 3 years is 2021. And they showed that documentation in court via emails, texts. And this is something that they believe that he waited too long to file. And as a result, the case has been tossed. Now, according to Stephen Mallow, he's one of the top lawyers for Elon Musk.
Actually, I'll play Elon Musk's lawyer's statement there. So they toss the case. The jury recommends it get tossed. The judge follows it. This is Elon's top lawyer response.
I have a one-word reaction. Appeal. It reminds me of how this country was founded. The Battle of Bunker Hill was a terrible loss for the Americans.
What?
The Siege of Charleston, terrible loss for Americans. But who won the war? This war is not over. I would say this is just the first step.
You know what that means?
And
they're going to do more. They're going to appeal. There's going to be more lawsuits. They're going to try to drag this thing out. They're going to just dump so much money. And there's two ways to look at this. This could be looked at, I think most people are looking at this as an OpenAI victory.
Matthew, what does this mean for the future of OpenAI?
Hi, Joe. So this is really great news for the future of OpenAI. This lawsuit potentially threatened to hang over the company's head. Elon Musk was seeking court-issued limitations on the company's ability to pursue its for-profit mission. and really to be limited and hamstrung by its original charitable roots. And so this win for the company reduces that risk.
Now, there's another way to look at this. Known expert Jim Cramer says this is actually a 5D chess level win for Elon.
Let's now bring in Jim Cramer, who joins us from the New York Stock Exchange. Jim, I cannot wait. What do you make of this verdict?
Well, I think that Elon Musk did something very clever. There are 3 ways for him to win. One is that he tied up these guys, it's OpenAI, so that maybe he can come in first. You want to come first in the chute because that's when the most money will be. That's the most that's left. Second, it's having been in big time trials, unfortunately, it's just pure torture. And he tortured these guys, but good. I mean, there's nothing like being deposed forever. It's really rather extraordinary. And then, I think he made it. He could have won. So, I mean, like he could have won. He got to torture them. The richest man gets to torture everybody. It's, again, if you've ever been deposed, it's one of the most embarrassing, horrible things you can do.
You get the sense Jim's been deposed. I don't know. Did you get that sense? I get that sense that Jim's been deposed. So Elon loses, and there's a disagreement on timeline. The jury was asked to help decide the core facts of the case, including when Elon could have become convinced that they were doing a charity stealing operation. The jury never got to actually reveal if they thought OpenAI charity was in fact stolen, because they unanimously decided that Elon's claim should be thrown out on timeline procedural issues and not on the merits of the case. Big win for Sam, but of course Elon will keep fighting. You nailed it though. Like in the past, battles like this would stretch on for a year.
Yeah.
And there would be like another year before we'd really find out what's actually going to happen. This will stretch on because Elon will keep on fighting.
Yeah, of course.
But not stretch on for the reasons it typically does.
3 weeks. It's quick.
Yeah,
Maybe they used AI to speed it
up. We'll see about that. But yeah, so there you go. Little was kind of the nice thing about it being 3 weeks is we were able to follow it from the beginning to the end before I got bored. I was just about there. All right, that's it for us. But we have links to what we talked about over at weeklylaunch.rocks. We'd love it if you go over there, check out the back catalog. Of course, a bunch of great shows over at jupiterbroadcasting.com. And we do invite you to join us live on a Tuesday. It's always a lot of fun to make it a live vibe. Or catch it in your podcast app of choice on a Wednesday. See how simple that is? Live on a Tuesday, out on a Wednesday. All right, from the beautiful Pacific Northwest and the mighty American West Coast, we greet you all a big, big thank you and a goodbye, I guess, not a greet, and say thank you for listening. I guess we'll see you next week.
And prosper.